obviously, I'm going to be talking spoilers off the top, right? Just let's just talk about something off the rip. Bakari got to be the stupidest motherfucker ever, man. I thought that, these characters do some really dumb shit in this series, man. They do. I think at one point in time, I was like, yo, the dumbest motherfuckers gotta be at this point, and in the later seasons, gotta be Trig and Shad. And I hate to say that about Trig because he's my favorite character since season 3. But when they moved Alicia's body and then they just walked out steady, oh, you're right. I was like, oh my fucking goodness, you idiots. Just when I thought you couldn't get any dumber. But Bakari, man, why? First of all, you agreed to move into Nuck's apartment. You agreed to work for Tiff. You owe her. Then you agreed to move into Nuck's apartment. Now they want you to take the fall for Nuck's murder? And you agreed, nigga? Listen, I've been trying to root for Bakari, yo. I really have been. I don't. It's at this point I don't know what they're gonna do. I feel like him fucking up. Not Smitty. What's the other dude's name? Rafiki Raphael. When he whooped his ass, that was clearly a Menace to Society nod. When Kane whooped Eileen's cousin's ass, Rafi gonna spin the block for him. The thing is, I don't know if Bakari's going to get hit. I feel like it's too obvious at this point. I feel like Reg might try to save him, or Jake might get caught in the crossfire, and Reg might save Jake. I don't know what's going to happen, but that ass whooping is not going to go unpunished, Joe. I keep saying that. However, Bakari, man, you are sealing your fate left and right. He got his hand in so much bullshit that ain't no telling what's going to happen to him. And I never thought I'd be, agreeing with everything that the sister is saying at this point. Brittany, I can't stand her fucking character because she snaked her brother out for some money from Duda. But it's like, yo, now she's telling him, like, yo, why don't you just come to Atlanta with me? Obviously that's the Jada Pinkett talking to Tyron Turner shit from Menace to Society, only if they're siblings and they're not, whatever. But, she's like, yeah, why don't you just leave the Shy? Like, leave and come with me, bro. There's nothing left out here for you. He's like, well, I don't know, man. I just don't know what to do. Like, bro, I really don't know what the fuck is going to happen with this stupid young boy at this point, man. And I'm not going to say I don't care, but it's like they just got Bakari doing really stupid shit. There's no way in hell he should have agreed to that. Yeah, all right, well, I murdered him. I'll say I murdered him. And then he told Keisha he did it. They were like, yeah, say you did it in self-defense. Trig is going right along with what Tiff is saying. And, we'll make sure nothing happens to you. And he's like, yeah, just tell her you did it in self-defense. Keisha will forgive you. Keisha was heartbroken, man. And, I know we've been talking about, like, a lot of people online have been talking about Keisha, like, why all of a sudden she worried about Nuck. Why the son all of a sudden worried about Nuck? That kid, I swear to God, little Ronnie has not said 2 goddamn words. He's cried and things like that and made baby noises, but I swear this child has not said 2 motherfucking words this entire time that he's been born. And he's just like, when's daddy coming back? I was like, you can talk, nigga? Like, it's kind of like in Dream Warriors, like, all you Nightmare on Elm Street fans out there, like, when Joey screamed no in Dream Warriors, and it's just like, yo, you can talk this whole time. So now the baby's asking for Nuck, and then she's got to explain to him, well, God took him away, baby. It's a really sad scene, because no mother wants to go through that for her child, like, on some dead serious shit. Like, I understand it, but I'm just like, oh God, everybody want to know where Nuck at, even the baby. He's like, yo, where dad at? When he coming back, man? This episode, I'm watching the episode now because I had to brush back up on some shit. Reg knocked on Tiff's door, and Trig is the security, so he's like, what you doing here, man? And he's like, man, I want a business proposal. And Tiff takes Reg up on the business proposal. Like, it's just messy, man. That these dudes don't get along, and they're siblings, they're blood. And Reg comes to her with a proposition to move her product for her, and she's like, all right, I'll take you up on the trial period offer. And you could do that. He gets the shooter chick involved, and she's like, yeah, I'm gonna sell the shrooms to the white kids and this, that, and the other. And they go into business with Tiff. Smitty runs up on Reg and he's like, yo, did you kill Nuck, man? Like, I swear to God, he's doing a Common impression every single time I see him on screen, and I just don't like him. He does his whole speech in front of the mob like, Nuck ain't coming back. And he told me to run things just in case if you got a problem, I'll just kill you now. And I'm just like, yo, just stop Like, just put him on mute. Like, put him on mute and put subtitles up every time he speaks, because it's making steam come out of my ears at this point. But yeah, him and Reg have a little run-in, and he's like, Reg is like, yo, you stay on your side of the block and I'll stay on mine, and they agree to it. You know what I'm saying? The kids have a Y2K party where there's no phones allowed, and Jake is spending an awful lot of time with this girl and getting close to her. I hope that we're not focusing in on that relationship and getting close to that, because something's going to happen to Jake. I don't like the girl that he's with. She's too yeah, we got to do this for followers, and we got to do this for likes, and we got to take this picture for the gram, and we got to do this for, like, everything got to be fucking documented with this chick, man. I just don't like her for Jake. I don't like her character. And I know it's a lot of y'all that's just like, well, see, like, you don't like any of the characters. Nah, man, I'm just not obligated to like every character that they just throw our way. I'm not. And I think it was funny, though. They threw Jason Weaver another bone on this shit, because they played One Call Away at the Y2K party, and I always love that fucking song, man. But that was just a whole little random thing. But yeah, man, it's the episode's not bad. You know, Detective Toussaint pops up at the end of the episode. You know, Bakari just agreed to, you know, take the fall for Nuck's murder. And then all of a sudden, Detective Toussaint pops up at the apartment that Bakari is staying at, which belongs to Nuck, and she's like, "Where Nuck at?" Everybody want to know. They should have just called this last season The Shy. Hey, where Nuck at? Because everybody wants to know where he's at. If anybody wasn't trying to get rid of him before, they didn't give a fuck about him, or they were trying to kill him or beat his ass. But now that he disappeared, everybody wants to know where he's at. Like, I'd be the nigga in the hood that's just like, "Oh, he gone? Good riddance. I ain't asking again." Swipe our hands clean of the situation. You know, there was a really good scene on the flip side of that coin with Darnell and Riley, where Darnell told her he loved her. She said, "I love you too." And you know, they have a conversation about why he's been avoiding that house, and it's just a really nice scene where I think they were slow dancing in the scene or something like that, and the camera's just locked in on him. It was a really good scene, and you can see that he finally, like, kind of dropped his grief guard down, you know what I'm saying, and just opened up to this woman in a different way, and he let her know he loved her. I don't know, I'm still team Jada, but you know, things happen and people move on. You can't tell people how to grieve, you can't tell people how to move on in the process of grief. So, you know, it is what it is, but it was a really good scene with Darnell and Riley, so that was a nice little, like, tension breaker for the most part. Moving forward, I don't know how Keisha is going to respond to this. You know, her and Emmett had a whole thing in the bedroom when they were talking. Emmett still hasn't told her that he knew that Nuck killed Rob and all this other shit. He didn't tell her about the conversation him and Trig had. And I'm wondering, are you going to keep this from her forever? Like, are you going to tell her this before the wedding? Because if you tell her before the wedding, bro, there's no guarantee we will have a happy ending for Emmett and Keisha. I don't know, man. I'm starting to, like, be on both sides of the fence as far as how they're going to close this season out. Like, it is a lot of shit going on. It's a lot of unnecessary characters. It's a lot of unnecessary storylines. But I don't know if we're going to get a happy ending, yo. I feel like they might just tear our motherfucking hearts out at the end of this series, man, and just not give us the ending that we're looking for. In my eyes, the perfect ending would be Emmett and Keisha getting married, Kev coming back to walk Keisha down the aisle, the mom coming back, Sonny coming back. Even as much as I don't like Dre, having Dre show up, have the girlfriend from season 1 and 2 that Kevin and Keisha's mom was with, the mail lady, have her come back, have everybody reunite for this one beautiful wedding, man, and just celebrate. And you know, somebody online was like, they're gonna do the electric slide in the backyard over Nuck's body. Like, that's reckless. But I don't know if we're gonna get that, man. Some people say when Kev comes back, he's coming back for the wedding. Some people say he's coming back for the funeral. I don't know. Not a terrible episode. Still, like a lot of other episodes this season, a lot of shit going on. Lot to unpack. I probably missed a lot of things, but I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Y'all been going in on me with these shy episodes. So yeah, what are y'all thoughts on episode? What the hell episode is this, man? 7. Yeah, what are y'all thoughts on episode 7?